Neymar Jr. is one of the most talented, entertaining, and talked about footballers of his generation. His story is not just about goals, trophies, and fame. It is the story of a boy from Brazil who carried the dreams of a nation on his shoulders, dazzled the world with his skills, became one of the biggest stars in football, and spent his career fighting both glory and pressure at the same time. This is the full story of Neymar Jr. Neymar da Silva Santos Jr. was born on February 5, 1992, in Mogi das Cruzes, Brazil. Football was already in his blood. His father, Neymar Santos Sr., had been a footballer himself, though he never reached the heights his son eventually would. Even before Neymar became famous, his father recognized something special in him. He saw not just talent, but the kind of flair, confidence, and imagination that could turn a child into a superstar. Neymar grew up in a modest household. His family did not have an easy life. Like many Brazilian families chasing a better future, they had to struggle financially. But football became Neymar's escape. It was more than a game. It was joy, identity, and hope. From a very young age, Neymar played football everywhere he could. Streets, small pitches, futsal courts, it didn't matter. He just wanted the ball at his feet. He quickly became known for his incredible dribbling, fast feet, creativity, and fearlessness. While other kids played football, Neymar performed it. He treated every touch like art. In Brazil, futsal plays a huge role in developing technical players, and Neymar benefited massively from it. Futsal sharpened his reflexes, close control, and ability to operate in tight spaces. It helped build the style that would later make him famous. Quick touches, unpredictable movement, and the confidence to take on defenders one-on-one. Neymar joined the youth setup of Santos FC, one of Brazil's most historic clubs, at a young age. Santos was not just any club. It was the club of Pelé, the greatest Brazilian football icon of all time. To be a young talent at Santos meant carrying history on your back. But Neymar looked ready for it. As he rose through the youth ranks, coaches and scouts were stunned by what they saw. Neymar wasn't just a talented kid, he was a showstopper. He could glide past defenders, score spectacular goals, and entertain crowds in a way that felt rare even in football-mad Brazil. It didn't take long for people to start saying he might be the next great Brazilian superstar. By the time he was a teenager, his name was already spreading beyond Brazil. Neymar made his senior debut for Santos in 2009, when he was only 17 years old. Almost immediately, it was obvious that this was no ordinary teenager. He was explosive, confident, technically brilliant, and completely unafraid of the spotlight. At Santos, Neymar became the face of Brazilian football's next generation. He scored goals, created magic, and played with the kind of freedom that reminded fans of Brazil's old footballing spirit. The spirit of flair, improvisation, and joy. One of the biggest moments of his early career came in 2011, when Neymar helped Santos win the Copa Libertadores, South America's most prestigious club competition. It was a huge achievement because Santos had not won it since the Pelé era. Neymar was the symbol of that revival. He wasn't just a prospect anymore. He was a superstar in South America. That same year, he won the FIFA Puskas Award for one of the most beautiful goals of the year, a dazzling solo effort that perfectly captured who he was as a player: electric, fearless, and creative. As Neymar's reputation grew, so did the interest from Europe. The biggest clubs in the world wanted him. He could have left Brazil earlier, but he stayed long enough to build his legend at Santos. By the time he was ready to move, the entire football world was watching. In 2013, Neymar made the biggest move of his career so far. He signed for FC Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in the world. It was the moment many fans had been waiting for. Brazilian wonderkid Neymar was finally coming to Europe. At Barcelona, Neymar entered a completely different level of football. The expectations were enormous. He was no longer just the prince of Brazilian football. He was now sharing the stage with global superstars, especially Lionel Messi. Many wondered whether Neymar could handle the pressure, adapt to European football, and justify the hype. The answer, eventually, was yes. Neymar's early period at Barcelona involved adjustment. He had to get used to a faster, more tactical, and more demanding environment. But once he settled, he became one of the most dangerous forwards in world football. His chemistry with Messi and Luis Suárez became legendary. Together, Messi, Suárez, and Neymar formed one of the most feared attacking trios football has ever seen. The 2014-15 season was the season Neymar truly exploded in Europe. Barcelona were brilliant, and Neymar was one of the main reasons why. Alongside Messi and Suárez, he helped destroy defenses across Spain and Europe. That season, Barcelona won the treble. UEFA Champions League. Neymar played a massive role in that success. He scored in the Champions League final against Juventus, helping Barcelona win Europe's biggest prize. He ended the competition as one of the top scorers and proved that he belonged among the elite. At Barcelona, Neymar became more than a flashy dribbler. He matured into a complete attacker, someone who could score, create, carry the ball, beat defenders, and deliver in huge matches. He was now one of the biggest stars in world football, but there was also a problem. As brilliant as Neymar was, Barcelona was still Messi's team. Messi was the king of the club, the symbol of the era, and the greatest player on the planet. Neymar was admired, celebrated, and loved, but he was still seen by many as the second act behind Messi. And eventually, Neymar wanted to step out of that shadow. In 2017, football was shaken by one of the most dramatic transfers in history. Paris Saint-Germain activated Neymar's release clause and signed him for €222 million, making him the most expensive player in football history. The move shocked the sport. Why would Neymar leave Barcelona, one of the best teams in the world, where he was winning trophies and playing alongside Messi? The answer seemed clear. He wanted his own team, his own spotlight, and the chance to prove that he could lead a club to greatness without living in Messi's shadow. At PSG, Neymar became the face of the project. He was expected to dominate France, win the Champions League, and establish himself as the best player in the world. At times, he was sensational. His talent was obvious from day one. He scored, assisted, entertained, and looked unstoppable when fully fit. On pure ability, Neymar was still one of the best players alive, but his years in Paris became a mixture of brilliance and frustration. Neymar's PSG career was never simple. Although he produced incredible numbers and many magical moments, injuries repeatedly disrupted his seasons. Just when it seemed he was ready to dominate the Champions League, he would suffer another setback. Ankle injuries, fitness issues, and long absences became a painful pattern. Because of that, criticism followed him everywhere. Some people questioned his professionalism. Others accused him of caring too much about celebrity life, parties, and image. Fair or unfair, Neymar became one of the most polarizing stars in football. Supporters saw a genius constantly targeted by defenders and unlucky with injuries. Critics saw a player who never fully delivered what his talent promised. Still, there were unforgettable moments. In the 2019-20 season, Neymar played a huge role in taking PSG to their first ever Champions League final. It was one of the clearest signs of how important he could be when healthy and focused. But PSG lost the final to Bayern Munich, and Neymar's dream of winning the Champions League as the main man slipped away. Even at PSG, where he won domestic trophies and put up huge statistics, there was always a feeling of incompleteness, as if the football world kept waiting for the definitive Neymar era that never fully arrived. If Neymar's club career has been dramatic, his international career with Brazil has been even more emotional. From a young age, Neymar was seen as the heir to Brazil's great attacking tradition. Fans hoped he would become the next national icon after players like Ronaldo Nazario, Ronaldinho, and others who had made Brazil the most magical football nation on earth. Neymar made his senior debut for Brazil in 2010, and he quickly became the team's central figure. He scored goals, created chances, and carried the pressure of an entire country desperate to win the FIFA World Cup again. One of Neymar's proudest early international moments came in 2013, when he helped Brazil win the FIFA Confederations Cup. He was outstanding throughout the tournament and looked ready to lead Brazil into the 2014 World Cup on home soil. The 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil was supposed to be Neymar's crowning moment. He was the face of the host nation, the star carrying Brazil's hopes, and one of the biggest attractions of the tournament. He started brilliantly, scoring important goals and helping Brazil reach the quarterfinals. Then came the moment that changed everything. In the quarterfinal against Colombia, Neymar suffered a terrible back injury after being kneed in the spine by Juan Camilo Zuniga. The injury ruled him out of the rest of the tournament. Brazil lost their leader, their confidence, and arguably their emotional center. What happened next became one of the darkest nights in football history. Without Neymar, Brazil were humiliated 7-1 by Germany in the semifinal. It was a national trauma. Neymar watched from the sidelines, helpless, as his country collapsed in front of the world. That World Cup became one of the defining emotional scars of his career. Neymar still had unfinished business with Brazil, and in 2016, he found a measure of redemption. At the Rio Olympics, Neymar captained Brazil and helped the country win its first ever Olympic gold medal in men's football. It was a massive moment, especially because it happened on home soil after the heartbreak of 2014. In the final against Germany, Neymar scored and then converted the winning penalty in the shootout. It was emotional, symbolic, and unforgettable. For a moment, it felt like Neymar had finally given Brazil a historic triumph to celebrate. But the World Cup dream still remained unfinished. In 2018, Brazil entered the World Cup in Russia with high hopes, but they were eliminated by Belgium in the quarterfinals. In 2022, Neymar once again chased the trophy in Qatar, but Brazil were knocked out by Croatia on penalties in the quarterfinals, despite Neymar scoring a brilliant goal in extra time. Again and again, Neymar came close to leading Brazil to football's ultimate prize, but the World Cup always escaped him. What makes Neymar so fascinating is that his career is impossible to describe in simple terms. On pure talent, many believe he is one of the most gifted footballers of the modern era. His dribbling, flair, acceleration, creativity, and ability to entertain made him feel like a player from a different football age, one where joy and street football still ruled the game. At his best, Neymar could do almost anything. He could glide past defenders, score impossible goals, deliver outrageous assists, and turn a match with one burst of genius. Few players have ever been as fun to watch, but Neymar's career also became a debate. Did he fulfill his potential? Was he unlucky with injuries? Did he make the wrong move leaving Barcelona? Could he have won the Ballon d'Or if things had gone differently? Would history see him as a genius, an underachiever, or something in between? That debate is part of Neymar's legacy. He gave the world moments of magic that very few players could produce, but his career also leaves behind a sense of what if. After years in Europe, Neymar entered a new phase of his career. His time at the very top had already produced league titles, domestic trophies, a Champions League crown with Barcelona, an Olympic gold medal, and a long list of unforgettable moments. He had also become one of Brazil's greatest ever scorers and one of the most famous athletes on the planet. Yet Neymar's legacy is bigger than trophies alone. He represented the Brazilian spirit of football in a modern era that often became robotic and tactical. He kept flair alive. He kept street football alive. He reminded people that football could still be playful, creative, and emotional. Whether people loved him or criticized him, they watched him. Neymar was never boring. He was always an event, and maybe that is what makes his story so powerful. Neymar is not just the story of a footballer who won trophies. He is the story of brilliance under pressure, a story of impossible expectations, a story of dazzling success mixed with frustration, a story of a player who was talented enough to conquer the world, and who still gave the world unforgettable memories even if he never fully became what some imagined. From the streets of Brazil to the lights of Santos, from the glory of Barcelona to the pressure of PSG, from carrying Brazil's hopes to living through heartbreak on the biggest stage, Neymar's journey has been one of football's most dramatic stories. He was the golden boy, the entertainer, the superstar, the hope of Brazil, and one of the most gifted players of his generation.